and welcome to the new channel. So, some of you may know me from my other YouTube channel. It's Full Moon 1973. That's FOOLMOON 1973. I have an interest in making homemade wines, and I want to document it on this channel. This is going to be the very first one that I have ever made in my entire life. So to start things off with, I have the bucket here. This has star sand in it, mixed according to the directions on it. Everything is sanitized. My table was wiped down with rubbing alcohol, put the tablecloth on it, and cleaned that with sprayed star sand. Everything, all my equipment that's over here was dipped in it, and all of this stuff, this was. I didn't dip the fruit in it, but we'll get to that in a second. We're going to go ahead and get started here. So before we do anything else, I am going to follow the directions here and go ahead and start the yeast, hydrating the yeast. So, and this is store-bought filtered water. So I want plenty of that to start with. So the yeast that I am using is Red Star Premier Classique. I'll be using an entire packet of it. And I want to go ahead and let this hydrate while I'm doing the rest of the stuff. Even though my scissors won't be coming in direct contact with anything, I went ahead and dipped them in it. It's my very first time. I'm a little paranoid about that. So we're going to put our yeast in here. Move the trash can. I'm going to put that over there. So, I have some things here to help it get started. This is called Go-Ferm. I know you can't see it on the thing, but I'll put pictures in. This is a yeast energizer. It helps it wake up and get started. And the instructions on this read 1/4 teaspoon. So, a 1/4 teaspoon. Of this. And I'm going to take my little whip here and mix that up. So not only is that nutrient mixed in, but it also aerates this so that it gets the yeast good and awake. So we're going to let that sit for a few minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and add some stuff here. So because of having to work quickly with my scale and my limited space, I went ahead and did my sugar. This is 2 pounds by weight of plain white sugar. Alright, so into that, we are going to add, again, more chemicals. We're going to start with Fermaid-O, which is helps the, it's a feeding, it's food supply for the yeast. Alright, so this one also gets 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'm going to put that in here with my sugars. And because I am using fruit and I want to extract as much juice as I possibly can, they were frozen and have been thawed, which helps break down cell walls. But we want to do even more of that. Use a 1/2 teaspoon per gallon. All right. We're going to add that in there. And last but not least, we are going to add wine tannin. So wine tannins add mouthfeel. Well, that label's hard to read. So, I hope it's a 1/2 teaspoon, but it may as well have a tablespoon. I don't know. But like when you have coffee or tea and you get that drawing sensation at the back of your throat, the kind of drying of your tongue afterwards, that's what tannins are. So, kind of give that a spread around. And I'm going to add some of my water. To mix it all up. And I want to kind of mix this before I start adding big chunks of fruit into it. I know that I could use a brew bag if I wanted to, and in all honesty, I probably should, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to do it just straight up raw, and also my hands have been sanitized, by the way. So that water was at a little bit more than room temperature. It's about 100 degrees here today where I live, and I set that over into the room where there's no air conditioning, and let it get to room temperature out in the laundry room. So it's a little bit more than average room temperature. I'd say it's probably just right around body temp or thereabouts. Alright, so that's stirred up fairly decent. I don't know if this joke will work down in this big jug, but we're gonna find out. Mm, not quite enough horsepower for this, but just doing a little bit. You really want aeration at this stage of the mix. Because the yeast is going to use that oxygen that you're putting into the mix as part of its fuel. So, I didn't figure that thing had enough horsepower for that, but I thought I'd give it a shot. That's pretty good frothed milk for your coffee. So, I'm going to intentionally agitate this up a little bit more. Alright, so so far, let's just kind of go over this again. We have 1.5 pound, we have 2 pounds of white sugar. Not sure what I said earlier. We have 2 pounds of plain white sugar, and we have all of our chemicals. Our yeast is hopefully activated. Aerated that a little bit more. And so we're going to add our fruits now. So this is a dragon fruit wine. I'm going to be adding 3 of these. Like I said, they were frozen and thawed. They are 12. Isn't that what I said? 12 ounces each. There's some juice in here with it. And I think this is going to really look good. This is dragon fruit, but I am calling it dragon's blood. That's what I'm going to call it, because look at that color on that. And that's just one bag. Now that pectic enzyme that we added, like I said, will help break down the cell walls and extract as much juice out of this as possible. What I found really interesting is how little actual sugar that's in these fruit. There's not much at all, actually, comparatively. Anyway, it's about equivalent, from what I saw online, it's about equivalent to a strawberry. So, my fingers are going to be pink tomorrow. Now, this is fruit that I cut up myself. This is white or golden kiwi, and a few leftover strawberries that I hadn't eaten. Um, you always hear dragon fruit with strawberries and dragon fruit and kiwi and all three of them kind of go together. So I figured I had the kiwis and I had the strawberries sitting around. I'd add them to it as well. And all of these are pretty light flavors, so they shouldn't be um, so no, they should none of them overpower. They should blend together quite well. Kind of break that up and get that down in there. And the recipe for this will be down in the description of the video below. Kind of want to get this mixed in here, all nice and good together. Because I want to take a gravity reading. This may take a bit because I haven't done one of those before. Um, 1.15, 1.148. That's what our specific gravity came in at. Which is a little bit higher than what I had hoped. I was hoping for a little closer to 1.1, but we're going to rock with it and see where it goes. So we're going to add this back to our must. We are going to add our yeast to it. Which we're going to mix up a little bit more. Make sure we're not leaving any innocent stuff here. And we are actually going to add just a hair more water. Just to kind of rinse that off. Make sure we got all the yeast back out of there. And add just a hair more water. So go ahead and mix all of that in. Alright. So now we are going to put our lid back on it. Give it a good shake. And we are going to put that there in the bung on top. And oh, we're not. I went way down in there way too easy. We're going to switch out for this type of bung, which I'm going to sanitize. Put the floater in. Alright, and then I'm going to finish up my notes, put my notes on this. And then I have this pan sitting here, just your basic aluminum pan. And I'm going to let it sit in that for 3 or 4 days, just in case it gets really wound up and starts to overflow. That way it doesn't make a mess all over the place. So thank you for joining me. I'll be back in this thing's probably going to start bubbling here in a little bit. And
2 hours later.
And once it gets done, I will come back and take another gravity reading and see how things go from there. So, reckon I'm done for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Comment down below if you notice anything that I did wrong. Let me know. Constructive criticisms. This is literally my very first time trying this ever. So, we'll see how she turns out. As always, y'all be good, y'all be safe, and y'all have a good one.